Just slowly but surely unthread it and let her go. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. Today is front differential fluid change day. So if you caught the last video, we did the rear diff fluid. Today is the front diff fluid. What you're looking for is 80W90. Now, for some reason, I don't know why this is, they do not want you to use synthetic oil. They want plain Jane oil in the front diff. So you don't have to use Pennzoil, but you're looking for 80W90 and you want it to be a GL5. That part's important. The brand name, not so much. Secondly, you need 2 new aluminum crush washers. Some people reuse the ones that are on there. Some people say get new. These things are only a couple bucks, so if you don't want to buy them, go ahead. But for a couple dollars for a new one, it's not going to end up leaking. You won't have to worry about it in the future. And it's just a little bit of peace of mind, because if that leaks and the oil all comes out, it's going to cost you a lot more than a couple bucks would have to get a couple new aluminum washers. So I recommend to change them out. And then the last thing you need is a 10 mil hex socket. This is for the fill and the drain plug on the front diff. So you'll need that just to break them loose. They can be tight from factory. When you're putting this back together, torque spec wise, you don't want to go more than about 30 foot-pounds for these. I believe the aluminum ones anyway start to crush at around 25 foot-pounds. So between 25 and 30 is more than enough. It's going to be tight enough to not loosen itself off over time, and it's going to crush the washer, stop it from leaking, and you're not going to go too crazy on it and end up stripping something. So between 25 and 30, more than good enough. All right, so moving to the front of the vehicle, because obviously this is where you need to be. If you come under here, you need to remove this little skid plate right here. There's 4, I believe they're 12 mil bolts, 2 on that side, 2 on that side, and remove it because we need to get up in there. So you'll have to get that out of your way so you have a little bit of room to work in there. All right, so the little skid plate's off, and you got to take the back 2 out completely. The front 2 are notched out there, so you can just loosen them. So if you do those 2 first and then take the back 2, you can just pop it out and it drops down out of your way. And it is steel, but this thing is so small there's not really any weight to it, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you're wondering what the big oil stain here is, that's what you get when you bring your truck to Nissan to do your oil changes. They spill that crap everywhere while they're draining it out, and then it just drips on your garage floor for the next couple days while it finds its way to the little weep hole there to let the gunk out. But yeah, we'll keep that for another video. But for now, this is what you need to get out of the way, and then I'll get under the truck and show you what you're looking for to drain and fill this thing. All right, so front of the truck, driver's side, passenger side. Those 2 bolts right there are the ones I said were notched. Leave them in there. You don't have to worry about losing them. Then if you climb under here now and you look up, this bolt right here is your fill plug. It's a 10 millimeter. Like always, make sure always take the fill plug out first, because if you drain this thing and you cannot get that out for some reason, you're screwed. You need to have fluid in this thing. You need your oil in there to have it work. You can't run it dry, so if you can't fill it, you're hooped. So make sure you pop that one loose first. As long as you can get it out, then you can move to the other side of this pumpkin. And now again, driver's side, come under here. There's your transfer case, and right there, 10 mil hex socket again, is your drain. So crack the other side open first, then come back, crack that one open, and that'll be the way to drain this thing out. All right, so I got the fill plug off, and as you can see, the fluid in there, it's just a little bit in the tip there. Looks pretty clean, but it is time to change it regardless. And then don't forget your little aluminum crush washer on here. So get that old one off. You may need a flathead screwdriver or something just to pop it in there. Sometimes you can get it with your fingernail, but nonetheless, get that off of there. Clean this all up. Of course, wipe down the front, wipe down the insides, make sure nothing's on the threads when you put them back in. And the nice thing is when you pop this off, you can get a feel for just how torqued down it is. Because like I said, with these aluminum crush washers, you're not going to want to go more than, say, like 30 foot-pounds at the most. So 25 to 30, more than enough to seal this thing up. It's not going to walk itself out over time, and it's going to be enough to squish that washer and seal it properly with the new one on there. All right, so it's pretty tight under there to film anyways, but crack this loose. You can see you can spin it out by hand. So get your oil pan ready underneath. Get it lined up. There's not much fluid in here, so it shouldn't really shoot that far. But then just slowly but surely unthread it and let her go. And let it drain. As you can see, might look a little brown on film, but it's actually pretty clear still. Just let it drain off. We'll get this magnet cleaned up. And like I said, just drain this thing until it's a slow drip. That's good enough. And of course, the more old fluid you can get out, the better. But just let it drip dry. Give it maybe like 10, 15, 20 minutes at the most. You're good enough, and you can start filling her back up again. And now, as for the drain plug, you've probably seen this in other videos as well. This black sludge on here, perfectly normal. It's just normal wear and tear. That's what this magnet's in there for. It's going to collect. You can see it's got like very fine particles of steel on there. So it's going to collect all the metal shavings basically, because normal wear and tear, as everything spins and works, you're going to get stuff in there. And instead of having that grinding through your gears over and over again, the magnet catches it, and it just over time, between that and the oil getting older, you get like this black sludge on here. So perfectly normal. We'll get this all cleaned up. Again, make sure you get the old washer off. If it's not on here, it's going to be stuck on the diff still. So pop it off there, put your new ones on, both the drain and fill plug. So a little comparison between your new on the right and your old on the left aluminum crush washer. You can see not much difference. It might be a little bit squished, but that just shows you that you do not want to go ham on these things when you're tightening it down. So as I mentioned in the video multiple times now, no more than 30 foot-pounds on these things when you're putting them back in, because you do not want to cross thread these, for one, when you're putting them in, and two, you do not want to strip anything, because if you strip it, you either got to tap a new one, got to get a new bolt if the bolt is wet stripped, or worst case, you're going to have to replace the entire thing because you're not going to be able to fill it or plug it up once it's full. So be very careful. That's the only really stressful part, I would say, of this you have to worry about. Do not go crazy tightening these down. So once it's all drip dried, clean off the magnet like you can see here. We got our new washer on there. Thread it back in by hand, just the same way we took it out. That way you don't have to worry about cross threading it. Tighten it down, 30 foot-pounds or less, and then you can start filling it up. And then you don't have a ton of room under there. I'm going to actually show you this before we cut open the top of this, because these just barely fit. You only need one to make it filled. You get two with the pack from Z1, because some people say you need one and a little bit. And then with this being kind of limited space in there, sometimes you can't get everything out of this bottle, so you're going to end up needing a second bottle. Other option is they do make pumps. I have one, but I'm going to be using it for the transfer case, and I don't want to mix up the oil. Then I got to clean everything. It's just a pain in the butt. So the transfer case, I'm going to use that. But for this, these work. The best ones you can get are the squeeze bags, if you can find a squeeze bag with the same oil. I couldn't find it, at least where I live. I couldn't find any in stock. So we went with this. It does work, but like I said, you got very limited space to get it done. All right, so you can see it's just a nice little slow drip now. That's more than enough. You don't have to worry about getting every last little drop out of there. So then, again, grab your fill or your drain plug, clean it all up. Don't forget the crush washer. Come back under there, find the little hole, come around, put it in, start it by hand. Most important part, if you thread it in by hand, you know it's not cross-threaded. So again, get it in there as far as you can. Couple little twists of the finger, just like that. Wipe it up, get it clean, and crank her down. All right, so once the drain plug's back in, we're going to come back to the passenger side to fill this thing up. Keep your oil pan there because, like I said, to know this thing's full, a little bit of it's going to drip back and spill back out, and that'll just stop it from getting on your floor. What you want to do is have everything ready. You want your oil, obviously, your plug, your 10mm hex socket to tighten it back up. Do not forget to put the washer on there again, and then maybe an extension just to reach in there a little easier. You don't need it, but if you got big hands or limited space and stuff under there, sometimes an extension helps. Cut the tip of the oil off just a little bit because I'm going to climb under here and show you how much space you actually have. It's not much. So passenger side, and that's your fill hole right there. So if you think, you put this, the tip, like I said, put it in there and tip this up, you just have space for the mount right here to fit one of those bottles. So if you have a pump, it may be easier, but this is definitely doable. And if you have a squeeze bag, even easier than this stuff. All right, so under the truck, as you can see, like I said, the bottle does just fit. It doesn't go up much further than this, but get the nozzle in there and then just squeeze. Because this oil is quite thick, it doesn't just flow out as simple as like a thin oil or a water would. So again, just keep little pumps, and you can hear it's going to start doing that because you can't get it all the way up to get a lot of the oil out, which is why I recommend getting 2 bottles, because if you can't quite get enough of this one in there to fill it, you can use the second one to just top it up and then dump whatever you can't get out of this one into the second one, and you can use it the next time around. So as you can see, it's going to start to drip out like that. That means you know you're full. So let it drip dry, same as if you're draining it from the other side. So you can see it's already slowing down. Keep in mind, my truck is flat on the ground. I got a lift, so I'm lucky I can fit under here. But you want it to be as level as possible. If you're up on a ramp, not the end of the world. It'll be close enough when you fill it up like this. A little bit under, a little bit over. You're fine. It's not going to wreck anything. Just don't do it to the extreme. And now, I always stress this, but again, grab your 10mm, put it in there, and when you're doing this, finger tight, or by finger I should say first. That way nothing is cross-threaded. Now you can put your ratchet on there, 30 foot-pounds, crank it down, and all you got to do, put your skid plate back on, and you're all done. All right, now how much we used. What I ended up doing, like I said, I emptied the one into the other one, and you can see we pretty much used 1 full bottle, just a little bit less. So this method, like I showed you under there, you couldn't get all of it out of there. You ended up having about 1/4 left, having it flat like that. So pouring it into the other bottle, filled it right to the brim. Empty the last little bit, it'll start dripping out like you've seen there in the video. So if you have a pump or something that'll get every last little drop out of one of these containers, 1 will be enough to fill it up. If not, order 2, and now you got 1 for the next time you got to do it. So either or, whichever way you want to do it works. But in my case, we had 2, and as you can see, once we put them together, it's just above 900 mils here. So that's pretty much 1 full bottle, and she's full, ready to go. So hopefully this video helped you out. Like and subscribe. We're going to get going on the transfer case next. We did the rear diff before this one, so if you want to see those videos, make sure to check them out when they're there. And hopefully this one helped you out. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.